Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Helen. Greetings from beautiful Costa Rica this morning. It's a wonderful day here. Today's class is a special request from one of my long-term subscribers, Dana. Thank you for supporting me all this time. This is an abs and core yoga inspired class. We'll be working on all these muscles, the internal and external obliques, the rectus abdominis and the transverse abdominis. The core also includes the lower back and the glutes. And core strength is really important for us to help with all different types of movement, but also crucially as we get older, it helps with our balance. It stops us falling over. Today, take it one step at a time. You might find some of it challenging, but if it doesn't challenge us, it doesn't change us. All you need is a mat, bare feet, and a positive attitude. We are going to start at the back of the mat with some plank walkouts. So starting here with the feet facing forward, nice tall spine. Inhale, full body stretch, arms to the sky, bringing the shoulders consciously down the back. And then rolling through the spine, coming down, and walking out into a plank. Hands are directly underneath the shoulders, arms are bone straight. Shoulder blades are protracted, so you're round in the upper back. Hips are in line with the shoulders. Legs are straight and strong. And then start to walk back. We come back up to standing. We'll do a few more of these. So make them your own. The key is hands under the shoulders, or the shoulders can be slightly in front of them. Engage in the whole of the front body. And then walking back, you can bend the knees. If the flexibility isn't available in the hamstrings. And then we'll do one more. We'll actually stay in plank when we get there. We'll hold for 5 breaths. Legs are straight and strong. Front spine is engaged. Shoulder blades protracted. Grounding into the hands. Steadying the breath, knowing that you can do anything for 5 breaths. And then release the knees gently down. Come back to a child's pose and just roll out the wrists. Should be nice and warmed up now. And we'll begin. We'll come back into a plank. We're going to do knee drops. And the first time I'd done these in the class, I couldn't believe how difficult I found them because it seemed a relatively simple move. Getting your stable plank, dropping one knee gently to the earth and then back up, and then the other. This really switches on the core, helps us build that deep layers of muscle strength. And then bring both knees down, just come back off the wrists, roll them out, check in with how you're feeling. We'll move into spinal balance. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, grounding down into this left hand. The right arm extends in front, left leg extends behind. When you do this, think of pushing out rather than up. This keeps the integrity of the spine. Core is engaged, lengthening out of those limbs on the diagonal, easy breathing, and then release down. We'll do the other side, grounding down into the right hand underneath the right shoulder, left arm extends directly in front, right leg directly behind, core is engaged, the whole of the back of the leg is engaged, lengthening out. Imagine the spine is getting longer. And then release down. We'll go back to the first side. We'll do 5 knee to elbows. So extending out. As you exhale, rounding in knee to elbow. That's 1. Extend. 2. Feeling the movement coming from the core. 3. 4. And 5. Return, side B, left arm left arm out even, right arm, left arm out, right leg out, and then curling. It's so funny how I get the limbs mixed up and also the left and the right. That's 5, and then release down. Just shake out the wrist. We'll come into floating table. This can be a little bit challenging, so give yourself some grace. Hands under the shoulders, knees start off underneath the hips, tuck the toes, then we lift the knees off the floor, holding for 5. Protracting those shoulder blades, doming the upper back, keeping the neck long, keeping the breath steady. Core is on. And then release down, shake out the hands. I've already got a sweat on. We'll come back and we'll do a progression from that move. Bringing the knees to floating, rotating round, so the knees are rotating round to the left. This right leg comes through and this left elbow comes back. Then we come back. Other side, kicking through and back. 4 more each side. So this is 2. 2 on this side. 3. So this one is also great for mobility. Core and mobility. 2 things that will keep you young. I'm not sure if I'm doing an extra round, but it's always a bonus. And then release the knees down, just come off the wrist. We're gonna do a little sequence, side plank, push up, side plank. Now, if the thought of a push up horrifies you, remember, this is an option. But keeping this body straight rather than this version. Okay, get ready. Start first of all in plank, then we rotate over onto the back foot and come into a side plank. So your side plank can be stacked like this, it can be staggered, and it can also be this version. So pick the version that's suitable for your body. We'll hold here for a moment. Top hand comes down. Set yourself up for your push-up. 1 yogi style push-up, and then we rotate onto the other side. Pause for a breath here. Back to the midline. Push-up. Over to this side. Remember, do a version for your body, and you can build up. We've got 1 more each side. Side plank. Last push-up. This side. This is also known as strong arm pose. Back down. Knees come down. Take a child's pose and roll out your wrists. We'll return back to a plank pose. And another little side plank sequence. So this time it will be fallen triangle, but with a hovering leg if possible. On an inhale, move the hips back to downward facing dog. Take a breath here. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Right knee comes into the chest. We rotate on the left foot. Bring this right leg out. Fallen triangle. Can stay here or hover. Back to 3-legged dog. Back to downward facing dog. Second side. Left leg lifts. Left leg to belly. Rotate either fallen or floating triangle, back to three-legged dog, and return. 2 more each side. Right leg lifts, right knee in, triangle, three-legged dog, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts, left knee to belly, floating or fallen triangle, three-legged dog, downward facing dog. Last one. Right leg lifts, knee to belly, floating or fallen, three-legged dog, downward facing dog. Last one, you can do it. Left leg lifts, left knee to belly, triangle, three-legged dog, downward facing dog. Knees come down. We crawl forward and come onto the glutes. That's all the work done on the arms and the hands. Shape them out. Coming onto the sit bones, the space at the bottom of the spinal column, that sort of sweet spot that's in between the sit bones and the sacrum. Grab behind the back of the knees, lengthen the spine and sit tall. To get this feeling in your body, this familiar shape, we'll move into a little boat sequence. Navasana. You can leave the feet both on the floor. So this might be your boat. You're engaging this part of your core and you're holding yourself, and you can have the hands behind the knees. Step 2 is to release the arms. Step 3, we'll lift one leg at a time. 1, 2, and you can hold on here still as well if you need to. 4 and 5. Now maybe both legs together, and again you can hold on, keeping that spine tall, engaging this core. Legs are engaged as well. Deep breaths. From here we'll do some high boats to low boats, releasing down into a hollow boat, so you're more like a canoe, and then coming back up. You can do this with bent legs as well. But see how you go. That's 3, 4, 5. We're going to go to 10. I know you can do it. 6. Remember, modify if necessary. 7, 8, 9, and 10. And release. Well done. Just curling a little ball. Connect with the breath again. Enjoy the sweat. Feels good. We'll do another little sequence in this shape, some Russian twists, but with a little extra twist to them. First of all, start with the hands here. You have this C curve in the spine. Rotate round to one side, back to the center, then over to the other. So it helps if you look at your hands, because that means the whole of the body twists rather than just the arms. A few of these. Feeling the rotation coming from the waist. Now we'll move on. When we come round to one side, we're going to open the arms, bring them back in and back to center. Over to the other side, open, center and back. Again, it's 3, 4, maybe you can actually lean a little bit further back. 5, 6, you can do it. 7, 8, just 2 more. 9, and 10. Excellent. Come back up, relieve in a little ball again, connect with the breath. From here we'll roll down onto the back, again using the core. Arms come out in front, roll back through the spine, and when you can't go anymore and you seem stuck, sit up slightly and straighten, and then go back again a bit more. You get stuck, straighten a little bit more, go back maybe a little bit more, and eventually all the way down. Just do a very quick bridge pose here, just to stretch out the front of the hips and the core, a little bit of relief, and then come back down. Moving on to dead bugs. I love dead bugs. Knees are directly over the hips. The lower back is pressed into the floor. So imagine if you had a piece of paper underneath your spine and I was there in the room with you, I would not be able to pull that piece of paper out. Knees over hips, shins parallel to the earth, arms to the sky, directly above the shoulders. The right arm will go back, and so will the left, and the left leg will extend. Come back to center, opposite way. If this is too much, you can just do the arms or just do the legs. Using the breath, not forgetting about that lower spine, engaging the whole of the front of the core, pressing into the earth. Couple more. One more each side. And then release, bring the knees into the chest, giving yourself a little hug. Lifting the legs back up to the sky. Hands can come behind the head. Pointing the toes, so you engage in the whole of the leg. And as you exhale, dropping the right leg and hovering. Then coming back up, and then we drop the other leg. So imagine you're scissoring the legs. Really pointing the toe like you're a ballet dancer. Again, thinking about that lower spine pressing into the earth. If you want to make this a bit more challenging, you can bring the upper body up and the arms up. We'll do a few of these. Couple more. And release, come down. Give yourself a little hug and a squeeze. I'm moving on to a bicycle. Hands come behind the head. Lift the upper chest up. Extend the right leg long. The left knee will come in, a right elbow to left knee, and then reverse it. We'll do this nice and slow. Using the breath. And then we'll switch it up a little bit. So this time, the left leg extends, then it comes up and down, and then we change the other way. Right leg out, up, down, across. Trying to keep the elbow in contact with the knee. I kind of like this one. Couple more. And release. Well done. Give yourself another little squeeze. And the last move will be some spinal twists. Arms are coming out to a cactus. Knees are directly over the hips. shins parallel to the earth. Using the strength of this core, release the legs over to one side, then back to the midline, and then over to the other side. And keep moving side to side. Using the strength of the abs for the movement. Moving consciously, moving mindfully, using muscles and not momentum. Keeping both shoulders glued to the earth. A few more. Then back to center. Give yourself a little squeeze. The feet come down again. Another bridge pose, grounding into the feet directly underneath the knees, so you have that nice, stable, straight shin bone. Lifting the hips up. Imagine your tailbone is going to the back of the knees. Breathing deep. Widening the upper back, not crunching the shoulders. And maybe imagining there's a creek running underneath your bridge. And on top of your bridge is one limiting belief that you need to release. Imagine this limiting belief jumping off into the creek and the water taking it away. Gently release down. Bring the knees in again, and we'll gently rock and roll up. That is your little core class. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm really, really dripping in sweat now. Thank you for practicing with me, and I will see you again soon.
And check out my new secret podcast, Free to Move, Free to Live, everything joint health, mobility, motivation and mindset for women over 50. Click under this video for all the details.